Welcome to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil, the official Monster Jam podcast. I'm Scott Jordan. We have crowned another series champion out on Arena Championship Series West. Before I introduce him, let's take it back to North Charleston, South Carolina, as we crown our Arena West champion.
Begin to think of what I could even say right now. Chandler West, I'm going to talk about this guy until the day that I die, man. He busted his butt, Billy, all the other crew chiefs in the back. Everybody get out here. Come on, what are you doing? Everybody, man, they busted their butts so hard this year. We drove Gravedigger 37 so hard all year long. And you know what? This right here, this is what it was all for, baby. We got it done today. I started my career here in North Charleston, and we just made history right here. 4 for 4, Salt Lake City, we're coming after you. Hey, all you other Monster Jam drivers, y'all better watch out. We're going to show you guys why Gravedigger's the best one out here. Thank you, guys.
4 straight series championships, not a bad way to start your career. Without further ado, let's fire up the Zenny hotline and go out to Digger's Dungeon to welcome in Weston Anderson. Weston, congrats on another series championship. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
I do want to say you seemed a very demanding champion in that video. Not only did you have to whip on these drivers, day in, day out, get a huge lead. Now you're forcing them to come out and watch you collect the series championship trophy, man. That's a flex move.
They were kind of just tiptoeing out there. I figured if I got a little pep in my step on the mic, they would start running and get up there with us.
Oh, they did, man. I like that. So I do want to talk about your relationship with Chandler West. We're going to get to that in a little bit because you're one of the only. I know drivers are thanking their crew chief, but you and him seem to have a different relationship. So I do want to talk about that. But first, let's talk about your season because another year, the sky is blue, the grass is green. Weston Anderson wins the series championship. How different is number 4 for you when you go back and compare it to the previous 3?
It was a huge deal for sure, yes, but it's getting to the point now where it's number 4. I want to go for number 5. I just want to push the card as far as I can. But whenever Taylor announced that and Christina, we were in the back and they were talking to me about how big this was, being 4 for 4, being with the likes of Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamilton, all the other big motorsports names that I don't know because I'm just monster truck guy. Yeah. But whenever they threw those facts on me, and it honestly brought a tear to my eye, Scott. It did. It was like, holy crap, something that I've done first before everybody in Monster Jam, before Tyler Meninga, before Adam Anderson, before Ryan, before everybody. It's like, it truly makes me feel like I have put my name in the history books as Weston Anderson and not only as just Gravedigger.
I remember when you came in, you were hyped up a lot, myself included, as being, this prodigal son, perhaps maybe the best rookie driver we've ever seen in Monster Jam. Scott Douglas said that he thought the best rookie season of any driver in Monster Jam history. And I feel like 4 seasons later, you have lived up to that hype. So, talk about the expectations that you put on yourself, even now in year 4 as a driver, to come out and win. Fans expect you to win not only every weekend, they expect you to win every event.
Absolutely, man. Like I always say, we have the 2,000 plus kiddos coming through at Pit Party, and a lot of them, they come through Gravedigger's line. They want Gravedigger to win everything and do a backflip. And sometimes you can't do all that, but most of the time we can make it happen. And, building this Weston Anderson legacy the past 4 years of going out there, doing the crazy tricks, doing things that people have never seen before. And then you go into the next weekend, wherever the stop may be, and the people want to say, hey, are you going to do a forward momentum backflip? And I'm like, dude, this is a hockey dasher building. We're in the middle of Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah. I can't do all that. But it just shows that I'm truly making a name for myself, being Weston Anderson, and not just being Gravedigger whenever the kids come up, whenever the fans come up. And it definitely makes me push that card each and every weekend. And that's why we get the crazy things that we do. That's why we crash sometimes like we do. But you know what? It's what the fans want, and it's what they got.
You made a great point with the hockey arenas and the NBA arenas. Do you ever feel that you are limited in what you can do? Do you feel the urge to, spread your wings a little more, fly on these bigger floors, and wish that you had the opportunity to come out on a more regular basis and do some of these bigger events?
Absolutely, and I think Tacoma is a testament to that. We went to Tacoma 3rd weekend, 4th weekend this series, and the first 3 events were not too great. And me and Chandler, we were both freaking out because it's like dude, I've been waiting 4 years to do Tacoma, and now here we are. This truck is just putting us through everything it could. And Chandler fought as hard as he could. I fought as hard as I could, and it paid off in the end. And that final freestyle, man, that really showed what I could do on a bigger floor. And honestly, in that moment, in that freestyle, I felt like even Tacoma Dome was a little bit too small for me.
Well, maybe the truck just didn't want to be in Tacoma, man. Sometimes these trucks have a mind of their own. Maybe they just didn't like Tacoma. Coming up next, more with Weston Anderson as we chat about his 4th straight series championship. Next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. My guest this week is Gravedigger driver Weston Anderson. Heck of a backdrop you got there, Weston. I know you're at Digger's Dungeon, which is this euphoric unicorn of a place just off the road in North Carolina. Where are you at exactly inside this incredible building?
Well, we are upstairs. We are above the gift shop right now, above Digger's Dungeon. There's kids downstairs running around with their Monster Jam merchandise on, and we are in Dad's office right now. I figured I don't have an office set up for myself quite yet. So we're going to use Dad's cool backdrop with all of his cool old trophies and all of his cool old news articles, because why not?
Digger's Dungeon fascinates me because I feel like it's the only place where not only can you go get pancakes, but you can also ride in a Monster Jam truck. You can see a big part of history. You can meet an icon like Dennis Anderson and maybe even see a young strapping driver like Weston Anderson. And it's something for the whole family out there.
Absolutely, man. And my favorite part about it is we're only 45 short minutes away from one of the beautiful, most secluded beaches you'll go to. It has wild horses running up and down at Corova Beach. It's been our staple. It's been on many Gravedigger T-shirts over the years, and it's our little paradise away from home, and it's just a short boat ride away.
I think we should set up a live Inside Monster Jam from Digger's Dungeon at some point. I think we can plan on just have the whole Anderson clan on there. I think that would be great.
Oh yeah, I think I might have the perfect setting for it right here.
All right, I love it. Let's get back to business, man. Let's talk about Chandler West because he is your crew chief. Your technician, your ultimate hype man, and you're his ultimate hype man. And the affection you have for that guy is insane. But obviously, you've been with him now for a few years and wouldn't be here with 4 consecutive trophies without him. So let's talk about how that relationship has been for you now with this 4th championship.
Absolutely, man. You know, Chandler, he was the crew chief for Scooby-Doo my 2nd year, and I watched that kid bust his butt for Scooby-Doo to go out there, and sometimes it would crash. Sometimes the front housing would be rolled up under it. And he had a smile on his face whenever that happened. I said, what's wrong with this guy? He usually the crew chiefs are kind of throwing their hands up like, what the heck, man? Why'd you do that? But no, Chandler, he had a smile on his face. Anytime that truck came off the floor, he might not have showed it. He might have been angry in the moment, but he loves it. He loves getting in the back. He loves figuring out situations. And the thing that is most crazy to me is, honestly, I feel like him being a part of the Gravedigger team, being a part of Gravedigger 37, figuring that truck out for the past 2 years, I feel like he likes the truck more than most humans on this earth sometimes. He doesn't let many people touch the truck. It's me and a very few people on our tour there on Arena Championship Series West that are allowed to touch Gravedigger 37, and that's another testament to Chandler West, to the Gravedigger team. And, you know, he perseveres no matter what, man. It doesn't matter if there's a motor blown up. We blew a motor up the event that we were supposed to clinch the series this year, and he ran to the back and he started ripping that thing apart like he was going to have it ready after halftime. And I said, Chandler, whoa. We're 300 points up, buddy. We can clinch the next show or the next event, the event after that. We're good. Let's take our time on this and get this thing back right. And it's truly amazing how much he appreciates the Gravedigger team, and not only that, but helps the Gravedigger team and keeps us going out there each and every weekend.
That is a special kind of love when you don't let anybody else touch your baby there, that truck. So that you can tell how devoted he is. But I want to talk about the communication that you have with him during the actual event, because you, as I mentioned, were a driver that came into Monster Jam with a lot more knowledge than most people have 10 years into their career because you grew up in the business. So what is there for a guy like Chandler to be able to communicate with you, a driver that seemingly knows the ins and outs of every little piece of dirt on a track and every little nut and bolt on the truck?
There's not much communication.
Okay.
That's the only way that I could put it. Chandler knows whenever I strap into that truck, I get in my zone. We may only talk once during an event.
Okay.
whenever he's telling me, hey, you've been up in a moonwalk for 20 seconds, 25 seconds, need to set her down. And other than that, it's not much. I will radio to Chandler. We always check in after we do intros. We do a little hot rush around the track. He says, hey, how's the truck feel? 9 times out of 10, truck feels great. Sometimes we ain't got first gear, second gear, and then we start thrashing.
We've been able to watch some of your events on one of our other shows, Arena in 30, powered by Spin Master, which you can also check out here on Racer Network. So we've been able to keep up on Arena Championship Series West, and you never cease to amaze me with some of the moves that you pull out seemingly out of nowhere. When you do the tombstone and you do the flipping the truck back up, are these something that are pre-calculated moves, or is it just you feeling it out and just hitting that throttle when you need to try to make something spectacular happen?
It's honestly, it's more in the moment. I've been noticing a lot here recently in the new era of Monster Jam. Take two-wheel skills for an example. There's a lot of people out there, they're figuring out moonwalks. They're getting really good at them, which is awesome. We want them to be able to get good at them, but then it's a little bit harder to win. So you gotta go out there. You have to figure out something new. You have to push that cart a little bit, throw the truck this way whenever it doesn't want to be thrown, and see what type of situation it throws you in. And it's worked a lot for us this year. We've pulled off some crazy things in two-wheel, just going out there, and I'm not even gonna say doing crazy stuff in the truck, but it's doing weird stuff in the truck, stuff that the monster truck does not look like it should be doing.
Well, there's one thing that you have not done yet in your Monster Jam career, Weston, and that is win a World Finals championship. And we're going to talk about it next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. We are back with more Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. I'm Scott Jordan. This week, I am joined by Arena West champion Weston Anderson as we chat about his 2025 season. We have gone and chatted about that season. Now we're going to look ahead to World Finals. So there's some irony here for you, Weston, in that you opened the season with 4 straight event championships at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. What would it mean to you to close the season with a championship in Salt Lake City at Rice-Eccles Stadium?
Like I've told you the last 4 times, Scott, I'd probably cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's something that you kind of just have to let happen. You can't force it too much. It's when you get in your head in that truck, and whenever you're in your head in that truck, it's not a good thing. And I think I've shown that. But I'd say at least the first 2 times I've been at World Finals, and this past year I finally got my first podium finish, and it's a step in the right direction. But I don't want to be the first loser. I want to be number 1.
Right.
I want to be the winner. I want to hold that trophy. I want the camera in my face. I want my dad to run out there on the track and cry with me while we hug in front of 60,000 people.
I want you to shut me up, Weston. I think that's the most important thing I want you to do, because it's my job to, call things as I see them. You are 100% one of the most talented drivers in Monster Jam, if not the best driver in Monster Jam. It's just, and not anybody can go to World Finals and win. It's a pressure cooker environment, and the last 3 seasons, especially in racing, I didn't want to talk about that because you have not yet made it out of round 2. So what is going on with you in racing? How can you this year with this 2-day format go to Salt Lake City, Utah, and make it out of round 2 and do what you always do, which is win? Because when I look at these stats going into World Finals, you're the only driver I see with 100 racing round wins, which is ludicrous in any sport to win 100 races.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but I need more stadium time, Scott.
Yeah, okay.
I do. It's you run these arenas, and we do 90 events a year where I'm racing in a circle. No matter where we're going, I'm racing in a circle, and it's awesome. I learned the dirt very well that way. I learned how to turn the truck left very well, but sometimes World Finals, we don't just turn left, we turn right too, and we have crazy dirt conditions. We have jumps in there, and that's something that I'm not used to, but it's something that I had in the past with the mega truck racing, running with Dad, Bog Hog Kingsling, and going out to random places, different dirt every single time, no matter where we went. And you have no idea what the track's going to be. You don't get a track layout a few days before. You don't get to practice on the track. You wake up and you walk in and you look at the track and say, okay, I'm going to have to race across this thing about 80 miles an hour later. Sweet, let's figure this out.
You did get your first podium finish last year in a skills competition, so definitely moving up and getting a taste of what it's like. So what are your chances of jumping off of that moment, using that momentum that you built last year at SoFi Stadium and being able to get on the podium again, maybe not once, maybe not twice, but maybe 3 times?
It would be awesome, man. You know, standing on the podium, having that medal in my hand, it definitely felt good. It felt good, and I understand I'm still somewhat new to monster trucks. I'm still somewhat trying to figure these things out in some aspects, and to be able to finish podium last year, it was truly amazing. Right behind Armando Castro, honestly, it irked my nerve a little bit whenever he pulled off that move because it was way too clean, and it looked like he had been practicing it for 9 months. But he went out there and he didn't let all of us other competitors get in his head, and he went out there and he did his thing. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing this year is I need to stay out of my head. I have the best of the best behind me, Chandler West. He's slinging wrenches while I'm slinging wheels. And we just have to stay focused this year and try and not get in our own head, run out there and run our run, put on a good event for the fans.
Let's talk about the new 2-day format. So with the power rankings will be used to seed everyone into either Friday or Saturday bracket. You would qualify only with the drivers that you were going to be competing with in that bracket. So whether it be Friday or Saturday, and then Friday's winner and second place finisher moves on to Saturday to race again. If you're in the Friday bracket and you are one of those top 2 finishers, do you think you're at a disadvantage by having to wait a night to race a final race, or do you think that it's going to be better for you to be able to get the truck dialed in, get a little more time, figure out the track a little more, and get a couple practice runs in on Saturday? I'm curious for a driver's perspective whether it's momentum or time that will be a benefit of you.
It's a double-edged sword, Scott. Luckily, I'm pretty sure the stadium's closed there. I don't know. I've only seen the thing from the side. I ain't never been inside of it. But I'm pretty sure it's a closed-top stadium, so hopefully the dirt would stay somewhat how it is, and we would have a better idea of it. And also not going round after round after round and then going and trying to win the championship at the very end of it. That it could lead to a lot of truck failure. I haven't seen the track yet. I don't think many people have seen the World Finals track.
Yeah.
Depending on how long this track is and the tunes that we're gonna have to run in this truck, we messed with some earlier. They make the truck run a little bit hotter when you mess with timing and adding fuel to it, taking fuel away, whatever the case may be. It's a lot better for the truck not going that extra round, but for the driver, it's a little bit of a mental stress, like you said, not being on that track for 24 hours. And then whoever is in that final round on that Saturday, they just went on that track and they had to at least win 4 or 5 races, however big the bracket may be, to get there. And they're warmed up. I would honestly like to see the winner from the first night at least get 2 practice laps.
I think that's the plan. I think that is the plan.
One in each lane. And if we wanted more, we should be able to at least get 3. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
And then that's a double-edged sword, because then your racing winner or your finalist on Saturday, they could argue that and say, well, he got 2 more runs than I did.
Right.
So that's a very double-edged sword, and we're just gonna have to play it as it lies. We're gonna see where we end up. And like you said, I'm in racing for World Finals, so I'm not getting my hopes up too much for that. I think you and all the fans know what I came for, and that would be freestyle.
Yeah. Coming up next, I'm going to ask Weston Anderson who the best driver in Monster Jam is. Stay tuned to hear his answer next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to the conclusion of Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. My guest this week is Arena Championship Series West champion Weston Anderson. We have talked about your season. We looked ahead to World Finals. Now let's talk about some of the drivers you may line up against in racing and freestyle. A lot of debate on who the best driver in Monster Jam is right now. We did ask some drivers that. We heard some Tyler Menegas. We heard some Ryan Andersons. We heard some Weston Andersons. I want your opinion on that conversation. Do you think you are the best driver in Monster Jam right now?
Give me the experience, the timeline in a monster truck that Tyler Meninga, Ryan Anderson, Adam Anderson have. Yeah, I feel like I'd be able to go out there and whoop their butts. Yes. But
I like that.
I'm year number 4 right now, man. It doesn't matter if I've done 300,000 events. These trucks are changing each and every day. They're getting bigger. They're getting better. and we're having to learn. We're having to figure that out as we go along. So all I could say is you bring Ryan and Adam Anderson into an arena, it's game over for them. We're going to dig their grave, buddy. But you bring me into a stadium with them big boys, I can't shake a stick at them quite yet.
I love the confidence. Maybe we should just move one competition into the Delta Center, where you've obviously are undefeated this year. So I like that.
Yeah, bring it. Hey, let's do an Arena World Finals with Weston Anderson.
I like that. I like that. All right, let's talk about some drivers here. I'm just going to name some drivers. I want you to tell me whether or not you think you are going to kick their butts in Salt Lake City. Blake Granger.
Depending on the competition, dude's crazy in two-wheel. Everything else, sorry, Blake, I love you. You're my buddy. We might be able to get you.
All right, let's go race. Let's just head-to-head racing. Blake Granger, yes or no?
Head-to-head racing. Me and Blake, we have a lot of the same driving style in racing. We go very fast. We jab brakes very hard in the corner. I feel like if me and him raced, we would probably both flip over. If one of us came out victorious, I'd hope it would be me.
All right, John Zimmer Jr.
John Zimmer Jr., a kid's a hack. He's a hack. I grew up here in North Carolina with him, and honestly, I feel like John, he is way more calm than I am in the truck. And I feel like he could get me in racing unless I had a clean lap. If I had a clean lap, we got that truck dialed. We have it to where it'll take corners very well, and I feel like we'd be able to get them.
You meet Tyler Menninger in the racing finals. Who wins?
I'm cooked. I'm cooked. Tyler's raced too many stadiums. Right. He's raced too many crazy tracks. Anything else, I could give Tyler a run for his money in, though, for sure.
Ryan Anderson.
Ryan, I've came this close before, and the only thing that separated me from beating my big brother Ryan Anderson was a smoke transmission in the final round of racing. So I'd love to revisit that one hopefully in the final round. I wouldn't want to race him in the first or second round, that's for sure.
All right, last one, Tristan England.
Tristan England, another absolute dialed dude, and we're still talking about racing here. He's fast, but he can get in his own head sometimes. I've watched him race many courses this year, catching in on the live streams, and all it takes is one little hiccup from Tristan, and I'm walking the dog right around him.
Well, Wes, it's been great catching up with you, man. I appreciate you always taking the criticism. I will be cheering you on in Salt Lake City, and I hope that you do walk out of there with your first World Finals championship, my friend.
Hey, you know what? Fourth time's a charm. That's all I could say.
That's it.
Fourth time's a charm for Team Gravedigger GD37, baby.
All right, man. I will see you at Rice-Eccles Stadium, the open stadium at Rice-Eccles Stadium for World Finals 24. And I will see you folks right here next week with another brand new edition of Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil.